Hello, it is Weekendween Monster Mash time and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I'm really excited for this readathon. I've been eagerly anticipating this one probably since last year's Weekendween. I just love these readathons and I do have my TBR here, so I thought we could do a quick recap of exactly what I have on my TBR. So if you want to go and check my TBR out in full with explanations of everything, I will leave it up here. But we did do a coin toss between this and Clan in a Cornfield Friendo Lives, the second book in the series. This one won The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, so I am going to be reading this one this weekend. And then the prompt for listen to a really good audiobook or like a atmospheric audiobook or read a graphic novel. I've decided to do both in this instance. So I have White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson for the audiobook, which I've heard incredible things about. And then I have Garlic and the Vampire and also Garlic and the Witch for the graphic novel portion of that. Then you need to read something featuring a monster. So I have Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. And then read something in the dark. And I've got Halloween Fiend by C.V. Hunt. So this is just a very short novella. So that is my TBR and I am very excited about it because I'm keen for the spooky books. Spooky books this weekend. So I'm very excited because I have started off with the Ice Planet Barbarians this morning while Andy got his new card game. So he's been playing with that and I decided to make a start on this, and I also watched a little bit of SWAT because I've been obsessed recently with it, and Andy has found himself in front of me with it and it makes me furious. So we are going to put a place mark right here on page 45 at part 2 because that's where I've gotten up to so far with the audio and Kindle, because I left my physical copy here when I went to his on Tuesday and I haven't been home since. So that's where I'm up to, and this is how the bookmark looks. Isn't it adorable? So yeah, I have started this one. This is the monster book that I've picked up. Basically, this is following Georgia, who has been kidnapped. Georgie, who's been kidnapped by aliens. She found herself on this planet with a whole bunch of other girls, and then they've managed to somehow, I think the aliens have basically dropped them on this planet. The idea being that they will come back for them at a later date and then sell them on, which is what they've been doing with the girls, but their cargo was already full. So they've dropped them on this planet. She's managed to escape, well, get out of the ship that they were in. However, she's ended up finding herself with Vectel, who is also an alien, but a blue alien rather than the Martian-y type alien that kidnapped her. You know, the type of green alien that we all anticipate aliens look like. And sexy time has already started. So it's kind of gone straight into it. I'm not going to lie, this is pulling no punches. This is for Literature Book Club for the month of October. And I will be discussing this one with Bobby and Pris, but it's pulling no punches. It goes straight in with the kidnapping. She's not, you know, it doesn't start at home. She's already on the ship with these other girls, and it goes straight in with it. Now, I'm getting the vibe that Georgie is quite a feisty character. She immediately wanted to try and, well, just to start off with, obviously there's kidnapping here and there is sexy time with aliens, which is bizarre in itself, but there is a rape scene in here quite early on in the book as well, so just be wary of that. Trigger warnings for that going into it. But yeah, quite after that scene, she's very adamant that they are going to escape, and she conjures up a plan with a couple of the other girls and they end up being dropped on this planet and stuff goes down. So far enjoying it. I can see how this is going to be incredibly fast paced. I literally listened to it for maybe half hour this morning and I managed to get to part 2 already, so I am intrigued to continue on with this one. I think my aim for the evening, I don't even know what time it is, I've completely lost all sense of time. it's 6:30. I think my aim for the evening might be to continue on with this. I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but continue on with this for a little bit, maybe try and get halfway. If I don't finish it, I have less than 2 hours of the audio left, so I could finish it, but I really just want to sit and watch some SWAT, I'm not going to lie. So I might try and get through some more of this and then pick up Garlic and the Vampire. Quite fancy just some cutesiness for the evening to balance out this weirdness. So I think that's what my evening is going to entail. I'm going to try and eat some food though, because I haven't eaten since this afternoon. So I'm probably going to do that as well. And then I just kind of want to sit and watch some SWAT. So I will probably do that. Find myself, you know, watching an episode of that, doing a bit of reading, watching an episode of that, doing a bit of reading. So on and so forth. Or just binging SWAT, because this is what happens. I get partway through it and I'm like, okay, after this one we'll turn it off. And then I get to the end and I need to know what happens next. So I'm like, okay, after this one, we'll turn it off. And it's the same as like, you know, when you're proper into your book, you're like, one more chapter, one more chapter, one more chapter. One more episode, which is why I try and not binge TV series that are long, like SWAT. So, but that's where I'm up to. Rachel, you smashed it with these, as always, my love. I'm obsessed. Look how adorable this ghosty is. So yeah, I'll probably use this one as well. And then a couple of our bookmarks, because how dare I not use Daisy and Bee bookmarks. But that's where I'm up to. So I thought I would just come on, introduce this vlog, let you know where I'm up to so far with reading, and I will give you an update when I've got some more to update you on. Similar to yesterday, because I put this jumper on. Did I even do an update with this jumper on? I put it on when I got home, but I just want to be comfortable today. It's absolutely freezing, it's pouring down outside, so we're staying in, we're reading all day, and I want to be comfortable, so that's where I'm at. Anywho, I have some reading updates for you. I have managed to finish 2 books so far, which is awesome. It's currently about, what did I just do on my phone? Oh, it's there. It's currently almost 1 o'clock. It's 10 to 1 in the afternoon on Saturday, and I'm gonna go put some lunch in a second, and also put some food in the slow cooker for my tea this evening. But I've finished 2 books so far. So I did read Garlic and the Vampire last night by Brie Paulson. I wanted like a, you know, something quick to give me a sense of achievement very quickly. This was adorable. We're following Garlic, who basically lives in this town, and the vegetables go to town to sell vegetables on the market, and there is this witch called Witch Agnes, I think. Yeah, Witch Agnes, who she kind of like looks after them and stuff, and they have this garden that they tend to and things. And then one day in one of the like castles nearby, they see some smoke coming out, and Celery, who isn't friends with Garlic because of an incident that happened previously, says that Garlic should go up because they think it's a vampire. So they kind of all agree that Garlic should go up. Now Garlic's kind of clumsy, she's constantly getting things wrong, but she's doing her best, you know, and she's really nice. Anyway, terrified, she goes up to the castle. She goes to tell the vampire to leave and it turns out the vampire is not all as it seems. And this was just adorable and I absolutely loved it. So I gave it 5 stars. I really had a good time with it. I can see this being one of those graphic novels that I would happily read every year around this time of year, like Pumpkinheads. So I'm very excited to have this one, and I will be reading Garlic and the Witch either later on today or tomorrow. So I've read that, and then I have read Ice Planet Barbarians as well by Ruby Dixon. I didn't realise, but this actually has like a extra epilogue in it. Well, there's a bonus epilogue. There's Ice Planet Honeymoon, which is Vectel and Georgie, but it does say, while this novella completes Georgie and Vectel's main story chronologically, it occurs after Barbarian Alien. So I'm gonna wait to read that one until after I've read Barbarian Alien, Jesus Christ, because I don't want to spoil myself for that. So I haven't read that one, but I have finished this. This was the weirdest thing. I don't think I've read like really bizarre, like for example I've read Her Soul to Take, which is monster romance, but there is a plot to it and there's like a proper story to it, and you know, I don't know, it just doesn't seem as barbaric, ironically enough, as this, whereas this just completely dives into Georgie being on this alien spaceship. She's been abducted, she's with a bunch of other girls, there's a whole bunch of other girls in cryopods, like asleep, and there is, as I've mentioned, a rape scene very, very quickly, and then they get dumped because there's too many of them, and the alien's like, we'll come back for you later, blah blah blah. And then they find Vectel, who, well, Georgie finds Vectel. She's going looking for some help, and she finds Vectel, who is a big blue alien, and the way she meets him is so bizarre. And just the fact that pretty much not once do any of these girls question anything that's going on, especially Georgie. She panics for like a minute, and then she's like, okay, there's a big blue alien doing sexual stuff to me, and she just doesn't question it, and it's just weird to me. Like, obviously it's a fantasy, like this shit happens, fair enough, but I don't know, I just found it really bizarre to try and get my head around. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun with it. I am gonna buy the rest of them, and I do want to read the rest of them. I am intrigued and I want to read more, but it just, in my mind, is still like, this is fucking mental, like so weird. It probably get a 4-star. I haven't run it through Cawpile. It's not gonna get 5. It was fun, but it's not gonna get a 5-star. It'll probably get a 4-star, but I'm gonna run it through Cawpile and completely find out what I'm gonna be rating this. But I have read it, so now I've read this for Literature Book Club. That discussion's gonna be wild. And next, I have decided, I'm gonna go and make some food in a minute, but I have decided that I'm gonna try a chapter each from The Only Good Indians and White Smoke to decide what to pick up next, because I can't really decide. So I'm going to try a chapter from each of them and make a decision that way, and then make some progress in whichever one I decide to pick. So let's go and do that now. Okay, my battery's dying, but I've read the first chapter of both of these. I actually think it was a prologue in here, but I got to page 14, so The House That Ran Red is the next chapter. I am very intrigued about this one. I'm intrigued to find out what's going to happen next. And part of me wants to pick this one up because, I don't know, I just feel like if I don't pick it up now, I might not pick it up tomorrow, despite the fact that I am intrigued. I'm not sure why. It's just been the sort of book that I've always been kind of, you know, like intrigued to pick up, but also didn't think it would be up my street. So I'm not sure. I feel like I should pick this one up first. However, I am very intrigued about this one. I am keen to find out more about this one. And I feel like I can get some housework done while listening to this one, whereas I feel like I should follow along with this one. So I don't know, I'm thinking I might try and just do some housework, get some lunch on while I'm reading this, and then I might stop and come back to this, just depending on how I'm feeling. So I'll keep you posted, let you know. My battery is dying, so I need to go and plug in a new battery and get another one sorted. But I am going to listen to some of this while sorting out some lunch. This is a Psychological thriller with its own modern take on the classic haunted house story, and a novel that will have you wondering what lies beneath your own floorboards. We're following a family who have just moved to a new city. It turns out these houses are kind of like old houses that are done up, and you can live in them mortgage and rent free. Basically, it's kind of like a fresh start for people that have been in debt and don't want to become debt free. You get to live there for 3 years, but you have to like give something back to the community, and I think it's that the mum is going to write a book. This is a family in which dad's got a daughter, mum's got a daughter and a son, and they are a blended family. And I think the oldest daughter, Marigold, who we're following from, has a drug problem, so she could be an unreliable narrator. Wow, unreliable narrator. It sounds like she's been in rehab though, so I don't know if she's, well, I think she does still have a drug problem, but I think it's weed, pot. So that's where we're up to. They've just arrived at the house. They have a dog. She's got an issue with bed bugs. I'm not sure if this is like an OCD issue or what, but she's got an issue with bed bugs. She really freaked out in the car. She thought she had a bed bug on it. It was a piece of lint. So yeah, youngest daughter, very, very jealous of new stepmom. Not a happy bunny. So we'll see how this goes. Already suspicious activity from the guys working on the house and doing it up. They literally all had alarms set on their phones for 5:30, and they've just literally gotten the fuck out of the house as quick as they possibly can. So suspicious behaviour. I am intrigued to see what happens next and where this goes. And I feel like I might feel better about reading this in the day because of the haunted house element. So I'm gonna go and listen to this, go put some food on, and I will do a bit of housework. I need to do some washing up, and I will check back in with you later when I've got another update for you and a charged battery. Okay, it's just after 5 PM and I have been reading White Smoke, and I've just gotten over halfway. I am 204 pages into this. I'm really enjoying this. It's starting to get really, really creepy now. There have been little elements of creepiness anyway with the haunted house, but it's really starting to get creepy now. Turns out the whole bed bugs thing is you actually find out a bit later on, so I don't think I want to mention it because I was getting to a point where I was getting sick of hearing about the bed bugs. It was starting to make me itch, but I feel like that's the vibe of the book, and that's the whole point. So you do find out there's a logical reason for it, which then kind of leads into a logical reason for her drug abuse as well. So yeah, representation in here for anxiety, and also, I don't know, I want to say OCD, but it isn't actually mentioned, but I feel like there could be elements of that in here, but definitely anxiety, panic attacks, things like that. But the haunted house element now is definitely kicking in, and I am very intrigued to see where this goes. I feel like this will really freak me out if I start reading it in the evening, but I have, how long have I got left of the audiobook? An hour and 39 minutes. So it is 5 PM. I'm gonna go and put some pasta on now because I've had meatballs cooking in the slow cooker this afternoon, and I am gonna put some pasta on, eat some tea, watch an episode of SWAT while I have my tea, and then at 6:40 my live show will start for us to watch Coco this evening with my patrons, and I'm really excited to kind of like chill out, relax, watch a little bit of a spoopy Disney movie. And yeah, I may come back to this a little bit later on, but if I feel like I'm not gonna, then I might pick up Garlic and the Witch instead of later, or I could try Halloween Fiend. So we'll see what happens. I didn't listen to this while doing my housework earlier and then go into this, so I haven't gone back to this. Maybe this will be tomorrow's book instead, but yeah, I'm having a really good time, and I'm so happy with the progress I've been making so far, because I have managed to read Garlic and the Vampire and also Ice Planet Barbarians so far, and I know Ice Planet Barbarians is a shorter book, but I'm just really happy with my progress because obviously I didn't really properly start reading until I got home last night. So yeah, having a good time, but happy with my progress so far. I would like to finish this today, and on the basis I've only got just over an hour and a half left, I can, but we'll see what happens after. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. So I am gonna go and make some food now, and I will check back in with you when I've got another update for you. Currently 5 to 11. It's a little bit late, but I didn't sleep till about 5:30 this morning, so it's been a hot minute since it's been that late. But yeah, so it's time to give you an update on my reading, because I've managed to get through quite a bit yesterday, and now I'm making some changes. Standard. So yesterday I did read Garlic and the Witch by Brie Paulson. This is the second in this series, the first one being Garlic and the Vampire, which I read earlier on in this vlog, and I adored this. It's 5 stars. We continue following Garlic. Count is in there as well, Witch Agnes, Carrot, all the other characters, but things are progressing for Garlic, and it's just adorable. I don't know if there's going to be any more in this series, but I would entirely read them. I also anticipate that maybe this series could go in another direction with some of the other characters. I feel like Celery has more to say, and didn't quite get a chance to do that in this, so it feels ridiculous saying that out loud. I just said that sentence out loud, didn't I? But yeah, I loved this. It was 5 stars from me. It was absolutely adorable. And then I also did read all of White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson yesterday. This is a haunted house story, and it is, what do they compare it to? It's like Get Out meets something else. I can't remember how they describe it, but it's very, very good, and I really enjoyed this one. I understand that people are frustrated with the ending with this one. For me, it also frustrated me a little bit. It's kind of left very open-ended. It's one of those types of books where your imagination is kind of left to itself to decide how this ends. But overall, I just absolutely love this book. The atmosphere was fantastic. I was creeped out so many times, to the point that I actually stayed on with my patrons last night after watching Coco and finished this book with them, because I didn't want to finish it on my own. Because I was completely creeped out. I am very easily creeped out though, so there is that. But I just absolutely love this. I thought it was fantastic. I liked the social commentary in here. I liked where the story went. I liked the twist and the explanation of what exactly is going on in here. And I did like the element. I know I saw a couple of people complaining about the element of her addiction and feeling like it takes over the story. I don't think it does. I think it gives you an element of, is this is this narrator reliable or not? I think it gives you an element of not being able to know if you can trust the narrator. Is the narrator high? Is she not? You're not too sure, and you're not sure exactly what's going on. And I think it just gives it that extra element of atmosphere. And I think the explanation for why she is the way she is as well is very interesting. It's not something I think I've come across before, so I did really enjoy that factor as well. But yeah, I just really enjoyed this book. I thought it was fantastic, and I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really, really good. I think this might be my highest rated horror, potentially. I don't know. I've only recently properly got into reading horror, so there is that, but I think this could be my highest rated horror so far, and I just really enjoyed it. This is my second Tiffany D. Jackson book of the year, and second overall, because I did read The Weight of Blood in September when I went to Dominican, and I gave that one 4 stars. I thought that was fantastic as well, and I do want to read more of her books. I heard that Grown is really, really good, but a lot of people have said that Monday's Not Coming is fantastic as well, so I am going to pick up more from her. But yeah, really love this one. 5 stars for this one as well, so 2 5-star reads yesterday. And obviously I gave Ice Planet Barbarians, which I also finished yesterday, 4 stars. So going well so far. And then I did have like 2 books left. So we've got Halloween Fiend, which I'm planning on reading this evening once it goes dark. And then we've got The Only Good Indians as well. Now, here's where things are going to change. So this was for my coin toss. However, I have gotten myself to 62 pages in. And I found myself last night just sitting there thinking, what in the fuck is going on in this book? Like, I've got no idea what's going on. First chapter was great, very, very intrigued, really wanted to pick it up. And I think this is a case of trying to like take us through exactly what happened by dealing with how the characters are 10 years on and exactly what's going on with them as they descend into madness. But I partially feel like I'm reading a different story. The only thing that's the same is the elk, but I'm also incredibly confused, and I've got no fucking idea what's going on. I haven't got a clue. I am enjoying Lewis's character. However, I did read a few reviews last night, because I do this when I get to a point where I'm thinking about DNF in a book. I read a few reviews just to see what people are saying. Now, don't get me wrong, most of the reviews with this book are absolutely glowing. I think this is a case of I don't gel with the book, which, you know, it happens on occasion. But the elements of animal abuse that I've already read in here, I'm not happy with, and I believe it gets worse. So that in itself is a reason for me to DNF it. I don't really want to carry on reading it on that basis. But similarly, it is very confusing. A lot of people have said that they've got to the end of the book and they've got no idea what the fuck they've read. It is incredibly confusing. A lot of people have said that like the first portion is great, the second, like the middle, just completely goes off the rails, and then the last portion either is good or it just made no fucking sense. And I just don't know if I want to, and especially in this period of time when I'm doing a shorter readathon, if I want to read this. I'm just not at the, I mean, the animal abuse alone I don't want to, but I just don't think it's going to be for me, unfortunately. Like I say though, most of the reviews for this are absolutely glowing. I just don't think it's for me. And I did read a couple of reviews as well that said that they got to the end of the book and they feel like they might not be clever enough for the book. Now, I hate saying that about myself, because I am a reasonably clever person, but I hate when a book makes me feel a little bit stupid. So I think I have read that this is like literary horror. Now, I don't know whether that's necessarily for me. I've been debating whether or not to pick up Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, but I think again that's literary horror, and I just don't know if it will, and it's a classic as well, I just don't know if it will make me feel stupid. And I don't particularly like reading books that do that to me. There was a book I read, I DNF'd recently, because I felt like it was making me feel stupid, because just the wording and stuff in it was wild. And I can't remember what it was. Let me have a quick butcher, see if I can find it. Oh, the Atlas 6. just made me feel really fucking stupid with the language. And I was like, I'm just not comfortable reading this. I don't want to read a book and feel dumb because I don't really understand what's going on. So a similar thing in here. I think the representation in here is probably fantastic. It's not Own Voices review, so I don't know, but I have read a lot of reviews that say it is. And I think it's great. You know, I think it will be a very, very good book, but it's just not for me. So I am going to DNF this one, unfortunately, which is a shame, but I've given it a try. It is what it is. So we're going to do another coin toss. Coin toss. Is that what I said then? My brain thought I said coin toss. Doesn't fucking matter, I'll find out when I edit this. So we're going to bring the original book back in, which was a Clown in the Cornfield, Friendo Lives. And we're also going to throw in Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. I've been wanting to pick this book up since I started reading it in September, I think, or even August, for Riley Marie's Patreon read. And I didn't get to it. And I know that it's been the book troop pick for this month as well, or last month, I can't remember. But I did start reading this and I got 42 pages in. It's another like haunted house-esque type book. Darkly gothic thriller from nationally best-selling author Sarah Gailey, perfect for fans of Netflix The Haunting of Hill House, as well as HBO's true crime masterpiece I'll Be Gone in the Dark. I haven't watched I'll Be Gone in the Dark, but I've read it and it was great and I loved it. Haven't read Haunting of Hill House or watched it. So I'm going to be doing a coin toss for both of these. I'm really still in the haunted house vibe, and I got 42 pages into this and freaked myself out and had to stop, which is the reason why I haven't picked it back up yet. So here's where we're at. So we're going to do heads, tails. That's what we're going to do, heads, tails. And I've got the original 50p piece here that I did from doing my TBS. We're going to flip a coin. And we got heads. There's our late queen again. So it turns out that in the end I've ended up with Clown in a Cornfield 2. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can get through this today. This is like 10 hours long, so, and the audio, so I am hoping I can get through this today. I'm not going to read the synopsis because first of all, I don't want to know what's going on with this one. I went into Clown in a Cornfield just thinking that it was one thing and it turned out to be something completely different, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised on that basis. So I am very excited to go into this not knowing anything, but similarly I don't want to spoil anything for you guys as well with the first book. So I would recommend it though, it's very, very good. So this is what I'm going to be reading today, and then later on this evening I will dive into this one. But yeah, that's what's going on. So I'm going to go because this was a very long update, and I need to get myself ready. I need to get something to eat actually. I need to get myself ready for sprints. Jade's going to be joining me this afternoon for sprints, and I'm looking forward to it. I kind of want to get a head start on Clown in a Cornfield as well, so I'm going to check back in with you later. Today it is Monday, which means it is Halloween, but also the last day of Weekendween, and I am a little bit sad, I'm not gonna lie, big sad. But I'm here to wrap this vlog up. It is the middle of the day for me now, but I'm not going to be able to fit anything else in, so I might as well wrap this up and get it edited and uploaded to you guys for Tuesday, tomorrow. But I thought I would just come and give you the last bit of updates on the books that I finished reading, and let you know exactly what I managed to get through for this readathon. So I did manage to read quite a bit actually. I did manage this whole stack with one DNF, and I'm really excited about what I did manage to read. So I'm really happy with how this weekend went. You will spot that in some of the b-roll from last night I did eat some of the Fizzer Swizzler. Swizzler is a brand in the UK that makes sweets that mostly get used at Halloween and Christmas, but I got given a bag from the Scare City that I went to with Andy the other week, and I just ate a couple of those last night as my Halloween snack, because I don't eat things that are pumpkin flavoured or anything like that. So I'm not a fan of pumpkin to eat, I'm a fan of pumpkin to carve. That's it. So yeah, I didn't eat anything pumpkin flavoured, but I felt like, you know, the sweets did the same job. So it is what it is. But yeah, I did manage to complete all of the prompts and read 6 books plus a DNF. So let's very quickly go through with you exactly what I read and then give you a rundown of the last 2 books that I haven't told you about yet. So the first one was Garlic and the Vampire by Brie Paulson. This is a graphic novel. It was absolutely adorable and I gave it 5 stars. That was for the prompt of to read a graphic novel. Then we had Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon, which I enjoyed. A very bizarre book. I'm intrigued to see what the discussion's going to be like for this one for Literature Book Club. Gave it 4 stars. This was for the prompt of a book with a monster in it. Then I read White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson, which I gave a whopping 5 stars. I absolutely love this. I thought it was fantastic and I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days since I finished it. This one was for a creepy audiobook, which it absolutely was. Then I also read Garlic and the Witch by Brie Paulson, which is the second in the series. Again, adorable, 5 stars, graphic novel prompt, obviously. And then I was going to read The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. I ended up DNFing this one. I went through the process of explaining the reasons why, but I won't be coming back to it. So that was a DNF. And in its place, I ended up picking Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendo Lives, which is the second in the Clown in a Cornfield series by Adam Cesar. I really enjoyed this one. It ended up getting 4.5 stars on Corpile, so I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, but I really liked it. It got the same rating as the first one did. I just think these books are quite fun. They do have some social commentary in them, and I think it is quite important social commentary as well, very much along the lines of the kids in town are causing problems, that it's got nothing to do with the adults, and therefore the adults are kind of taking control. I really enjoyed this. I thought, to get back to the book, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fantastic, and I just really enjoy the whole slasher element of it. I would like to see it as a film, despite the fact that it's got clowns in, and I don't like clowns. I have a big fear of clowns, but it turns out apparently I don't mind reading them on page. It's just watching, it's just seeing them that is the issue for me. So I did really enjoy this. I'm not going to tell you what happens in here because it will spoil the first book, but I would recommend picking the first book up. Essentially it's Kill a Clown, and there's more to it than that. I don't want to say any more than that because it does kind of spoil it, but there is more to it than that. 5 stars for that one. So that was for the prompt of a coin toss, because I obviously did the coin toss twice. And then for the prompt of a book at night, I was going to read Halloween Fiend by C.L. whatever the frig, Halloween Fiend. I'll show a picture of it here. I decided last night, after smashing Clown in a Cornfield yesterday, which is a reasonably chunky book, it's over 400 pages, I decided that I didn't want, the text in it is quite small. It is only 100 pages, but the text in it is quite small, and I couldn't be bothered with like a heavy physical read. So I did decide to swap it out for Crumbs by Danny Sterling, and this took me maybe a couple of hours to read because it is quite chunky. This was really cute. So basically it's set in a small town. We're following this young girl called Ray, who goes to this bakery every single day, and she asks for a romance cake and this tea that she gets and stuff, and it's really cute. She's got like real admiration for the bakery owner, but it turns out that her nephew Laurie works there, and these two end up building a romantic relationship up. Now Ray is pretty open, she's quite honest about things, but she's got her head screwed on and she knows exactly where she's going with her career. However, she does find herself questioning this career later on throughout the book. Laurie, however, has found himself in a situation where he just wants people around him to be happy all the time, and therefore he never lets on when something's wrong with him because he feels like he's going to be a Debbie Downer. So he doesn't let his friends know that something's wrong. He's always smiling. It's just not quite right. And he never, you know, he ends up lying a couple of times to Ray about things because he doesn't want to let her down and he doesn't want to see her unhappy. And they end up having a couple of problems, but it's just absolutely adorable. It's filled with magic. It's really, really cute. I just had a really good time reading this one. I feel like it did go into the work element side of things with Ray a little bit too much, like on the place that she works for. I can't remember what it is, the counselor place. I feel like it went into that a little bit too much, but when you get to the end it kind of wraps up and makes a bit more sense as to why they've done that. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really cute, and I just enjoyed the illustration style and the story itself. I did give it 4 stars. It was very, very cute. So I did read this one for a book in the dark. So I did manage to complete 6 books. 3 actually were novels and 3 graphic novels, which was a nice little balance. I managed to read a book and a graphic novel a day, which was really nice over the last 3 days. So I'm really happy with how this went, and I had such a good time. So thanks as always to Olivia and Gabby for hosting this readathon. They absolutely nailed it, and I just had such a fun time. And I cannot wait already for Winterween in January. I'm already excited. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this reading vlog. Chat to me in the comments down below. Have you read any of these before? Did you take part in Weekendween? What did you read? And I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.